An Instagram page is now in the middle of controversy, especially because it involves people that live in Iran. Now, Iran is known for very, very strict Islamic laws, especially when it comes to the way women appear in public. Women are supposed to wear a headdress. You're not supposed to drink any alcohol. However, this particular Instagram page, which is referred to as the Rich Kids of Tehran, features the children of elite members of society flaunting their wealth. You see women without their headdresses, you see them drinking alcohol, and so of course this raises questions about whether or not there's a double standard between the elite and everyone else that lives in the country. Now, if you live in the United States, you know that double standard absolutely exists here, so why the hell wouldn't it exist anywhere else?
So there's two parts to this. One is the double standard that is all across the world. Half of people in Tehran live below the poverty line, full 50%, right? So meanwhile, they see those kids in their Ferraris or their multiple Ferraris, and it drives them crazy, right? And look, I know we live in a culture where you want to flaunt things, and you're happy to have your Ferrari, you want to show it to your friends and stuff, but it's in the public, so half the city that has nothing, I mean, you're rubbing it in their face. Don't do that. Don't do that, right? So it's a bad idea overall. Then there's the second part of it is specifically the hypocrisy in Iran, right? Because those people in power, the reason that these kids are getting away with it, normally there'd be severe consequences in Iran. But these are the kids of the powerful in Iran. But if they're the kids of the powerful, think about that. The powerful in Iran are usually supposed to be the most, Muslim and moral and, and usually fundamentalist. And they're in power because they agree with the religious leadership and the ayatollahs and the mullahs and all that stuff. Meanwhile, they're like, oh, no, those rules are for you. No, our kids are having a blast. And they're above the law. They're not wearing headdresses. They're getting drunk. They're having the time of their lives.
Oddly enough, I mean, I know it sounds a little strange to draw parallels between this story and the one that I'm about to mention, but it kind of reminded me of that Desjardins guy, right? So he was a lawmaker in the United States, very, very right-wing, right? Very much against abortion. But then when it came to him and getting his mistress pregnant, all of a sudden abortion is okay, right?
Now, to be fair, Anna, he also made his wife get an abortion.
Oh, of course, yeah. 3
abortions overall that we know of between the mistress and the wife.
Right.
But when asked about it, they say, you're pro-life, but you encouraged, maybe even forced your mistress and your wife to get abortions.
It's amazing.
And he said, no, but it was a really bad time for us. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, it was a bad time. Because pro-life people always make that distinction, right? I mean, if you're stuck in a jam with your mistress, well, obviously, then you can get an abortion.
Yeah.
These guys are all, like, fundamentalists across the entire world are completely full of crap.
Of course they are. I mean, they will use their power to dictate our freedoms and our rights and the way we live our lives. But when it comes to them reflecting on themselves, they don't have to listen to anything that they preach. They don't follow anything they preach. And that was, very, very true in this story as well. You have these rich kids. They're not going to face any consequences as far as we know, right? And another thing I want to point out is just recently, 7 young people in Iran had a suspended sentence, of how many?
91 lashes.
91 lashes. And the reason why it was a suspended sentence was because Iran got a lot of criticism for even wanting to punish them. What did they do? What was the big crime? They made a music video where they were dancing and they were happy, and they did it to the background of
Happy by Pharrell.
Yeah.
So how dare you be happy? We can give you 91 lashes and a significant amount of time in jail if you ever dance again, right? I mean, like, the entire country is living the movie Footloose, except for the kids of the rulers.
Yep.
I mean, that is hypocrisy defined. So never believe your religious leaders when they tell you, you have to do this, this, or this. I guarantee you they ain't doing it, their families aren't doing it, they're living the high life.
It's one thing to have that situation happen with the alcohol and the headdresses or something, but it gets really, really shady when it has to do with the justice system, right? When the poor aren't able to defend themselves the way the elite defend themselves. And as a result, they get the lashes, they get the jail time. And it's true in the United States,
and I want to be clear, too. So a lot of those kids' parents might not necessarily be mullahs themselves, but they might be businessmen who do deals with a Republican Guard or is it the Revolutionary Guard? one of those in Iran, right? That secretly controls the whole country. That's the military wing that supports the Ayatollah, right? They have the ultimate power. So there's no way they're that rich if they're not in some way in business and in cahoots with the religious government of Iran.
So after they got the criticism, though, I have to add this one last part. They released a statement, those who are behind the Instagram page, saying that, well, some of us live in Iran, but some of us don't live in Iran.
Wink, wink.
And this wasn't meant to be political, but you guys made it political. But there's a political angle to this story, whether or not you intended it to occur.
No, we didn't mean for it to be political because we're stupid and we're just like living the high life and rubbing your face in it. And then we realized, oh shit, right, you're not allowed to drink and you're not allowed to show your hair. Sad day for you. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Why'd you make it political? But the reality is they're not being punished because, as one of the experts here, an IT consultant in Tehran said, most of them have fathers who are untouchable. That's why they're not being punished.